beautiful people. Today we're going to continue our conversation on screen time and with mummies. Hello, Raj.
Uncle Code, hi, how are you?
Very good. Did you notice the timer on top left? You see the timer now?
Uncle Code, I see the timer and I saw that sick intro at the start.
Wow.
That was crazy. The intro was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I like
My
it.
goodness.
I like the music. I like to play it and then dancing a little bit. You and me, we should dance, I think, with the music maybe one more time.
You know, we should have a whole new show of us just dancing. We can call it Uncle Dance. So, you know,
the timer.
yeah. So,
Okay.
Uncle Code, we have had this conversation about screen time for several episodes, right? We had an episode with you where we really got your thoughts, your opinions, based off research, based off data about screen time. We had a conversation with the kids as well. And today, I heard we're going to have some moms on the show.
Yes, the
Right?
mothers.
Now, before we invite our guests to the show, right? Let's just talk about our intention, right? What would you like listeners of today's episode to take away from this episode?
I mean, like, because today is, if you look at it as a kind of these three concepts that we did it with kids, I wanted people to see that how Generation Z, they think, especially when they train to be mature, to understand how think by themselves, right? And then also in the other episode, we talk about my own opinion. I mean, how I look at this stuff, because my perspective defined the way that I build a system and education for children, for even those people that it's important for them. And today, it's not like kind of conclusion. It's just like listening from some of our mothers and the way they think and the way they have concerns. So rather than take away is just knowing, it's just listening, it's just understanding. So there's no any kind of right and correct or wrong. Different parents, they have different strategies, right? But what matters is we do have the data and knowledge and understanding of what we think can be better, can be different, rather than just stick in one idea. So my takeaway is to just sharing, listening.
Awesome, that's great. So without further ado, we would like to invite our three beautiful, amazing moms to join us onto the show today. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Everyone.
Hi.
Hello. That's amazing to see all of you here. And I think we're waiting for Mojgan also to join.
Hello, yes.
Okay. I don't have your screen. You guys can see Mojgan's screen or you see blank?
No, I think it's still loading at the moment.
I think it's loading, huh?
Yeah, but all right, that's fine. We have Kyoko, we have Premila, and we have Mojgan on the show today. Thank you so much for joining us today, ladies.
And I like to add this.
Nice to be here.
We also appreciate that. We appreciate you guys joining. Oh, Mojgan also is here. You can see that Mojgan
Yes.
Mojgan is loaded. Before that, he were like a 3 dots. Mojgan. I like to say that, Raj, that these three ladies, they have been with Kyoko since very, very beginning.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, like they only have seen the growth of their children, also they have seen the growth of Kyoko. So with their children, so that's something really interesting. You know, you have a lot of memories in the story, and I'm happy for that. Good and bad moments all together. It's like a family. So let's go through all these questions, ladies. We're gonna have some questions about relevant to the screen and screen times. That we had some similar questions from your children, and we had a conversation with that. And today, I'd like to engage you guys with these questions and then understand your answers. So, by the way, when I say guys, gals means the same things. Okay, I'm picking up a term that doesn't have any kind of gender concept. So, what do you suggest to me, Raj? I say gals, guys, or something else?
Honestly, we can use whatever term you feel most comfortable, right? But the important thing is, Uncle Code, I think we need to let them know also today that whoever gives the best answers might actually stand a prize, right? At the end of the episode. So we're going to give maybe a trip to France or something, so make sure your answers are like super good answers.
That's the part that we can do the conversation with Raj after the show. Let me tell you, Raj, I give you freedom, authority for doing this. No problem at all.
Awesome. So let's start the show for today, ladies and gentlemen. And our topic for today is screen time and children. So, Uncle Code, the first question that we are going to talk about is, what is your depth of a screen? And what do you think is its impact on our lives and future?
So I'll just make it in very short way, dear mothers. before we talk about it's good or bad, before we want to talk about the timing, first let's see if do we have the same definition about the screen. What do you call a screen? So the definition of a screen, okay? Let's start from you, Coco. Kentamam. Always I call you Kentamam. So what is a screen? What do you think is a screen? We are living in 2021, the world after the COVID. Please define your definition for a screen.
Well, my definition of screen is just all LCD, including TV, iPad, iPhones, and computers, everything. Yeah, even yeah, that's my definition.
Very nice. Five good points for you. Solid 5 points for that definition.
Right. Great. Premila, how about you?
I think it's just a flat screen on some kind of devices, electronic devices. It can be, it's a flat surface where it gives it displays data and photos or what kind of visual things. For example, now it's televisions, smartphones, laptops, even the watch. Sometimes it displays. Nowadays they have this kind of watch and all that. There is also a screen thing, right? I think that's what I know.
It's almost everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
Great. I like the watch part. Mojgan, how about you?
Actually, I also agree with Kyoko and Premila. I do believe that all types of gadgets that nowadays we are using, like phone, TV, even watches that Premila mentioned, laptop, PC, everything is just kind of screening. Yeah, I mean that the screen.
Okay.
They have this, yeah.
So now I just extend my question in this way. Coco, what else do you think will be a screen very soon? Right? Things that you mentioned. I want to know your opinion. What else? Where else in the close future we see more screens, for example?
That's a difficult question.
I'll give one help. I feel that within next 5 years, our T-shirts, they have the ability of presenting some videos and different types. So that means I can have different patterns every day when I go out. So this is an example of technology, how technology moves forward. What else you think?
You're right. Yeah, perhaps everything. In my view, everything is go to screen. I mean, even blackboard in the school.
Yeah.
Went to kind of LCD and perhaps fridge.
Yes.
Free. Yeah, kind of electricity. Also, I think they also have some kind of displays.
Great. So how about you, Premila?
I can't think of any. Maybe I don't know, windows. Just now, Raj was saying that he wished he had a curtain there, so his windows were he was having some kind of LED. Then we do not need a curtain there. We can use our own curtain every day.
Exactly, right?
Kind of screen, different screen every day, different curtain every day. I don't know, maybe something like that.
You want to change the color, you don't need to wash it. It can be any design that you want. That sounds amazing.
You know what? One example that probably come very soon is your mirror. That means imagine you lady, you and guys and anybody, when you use the mirror to look at yourself or makeup or prepare or whatever, imagine that mirror is an LCD, is a TV, is a computer that shows you and let you to see if I choose these colors or if I do that, or maybe one day you look pretty, you can save whatever you did, and another day you remember what I did. I can sell this business idea, huh? What you got? How about you?
Actually, something came to my mind about advertising in future. Maybe we go for just vast area with not only just limited to billboards and then LCDs and all. Maybe we can go for another type of screen that we just go for advertising things.
Interesting. Very interesting point. Definitely is happening because it's. You know what, when you go to, for example, let me pick up an example, everybody have seen it. Look at the McDonald's, or you see before was paper-based about their food. And every day they have to change it every month. But now when they change it to just simple TV, You see that now they can have a lot of things, so they can change
Yeah.
today promotions, tomorrow promotion. So this same goes to advertisement. They give more creative ideas. In South Korea now, for example, they have been very, very advanced in advertisement everywhere about the food you can purchase, and when you're waiting for your train to come and then go. So my point of the question is, I like that you have it's almost similar definition of a screen. You can see it's going everywhere, or we can say that a screen is getting embedded on everything. Okay, embedded. That means your wardrobe will have a screen, your wall will have a screen, your t-shirt will have a screen. These embedded systems are a part of futures. So the screen is going to be everywhere. It's a part of technology. We can't stop it or control it or say yes or no. That's what I feel here about this concept. So we can continue. Raj, go for the next question.
So, Uncle Cody, you said that a screen is everywhere. Is there such a thing as a separation between screen time or like not screen time? Is there even such a thing as screen time when it's around you all the time, right?
Okay.
Since we have to use it for many things, for advertising, for entertainment, for education, to stay connected. So is there even such thing as screen time anymore?
So very interesting questions. We're going to start from the Kyoko, and I'll tell one thing before everybody. If a screen, you know what my definition for screen, I call it modern world paper. It's a paper. It's exactly what they paper to our life. So I can't remember anytime my parent any concern with the paper time. We never had something like a paper time. So now the question is this: if a screen is everywhere and it's going to be more everywhere, how do you feel about a screen time, being on a screen, not being on a screen, when a screen is going to be the paper of the modern world? Coco, please, you start.
Well, I really agree with the report. Actually, now all the paper are replaced with screens. And before the pandemic, my kid was very small, I tried to control my screen time, my kids' screen time. But now I realized it's kind of impossible because everything is go online. And now even in the school, the whiteboard already went to kind of screen.
Interesting point. Even if you control the time on the laptop, but again, a school has digital whiteboard. So,
Yes.
I mean, the screen itself is everywhere. Nice. Premila, how about you? Nice.
Yeah, as what I agree with that. We don't have any screen. I don't see any screen time. Even with myself, I can see the difference now, especially during this pandemic time. It's either in the laptop. I'm 8 hours in the laptop, and then after that, the next 2-3 hours is going to be my phone. If it's not the phone, then it's going to be the television. If it's not, then it's back to the phone again and back to the laptop. It's just like, I think the only time I don't use I don't have any screen time is during my sleeping time, or my common thing, when I'm cooking, maybe when I'm taking my bath, or during this kind of common physical activity time. That's the only time that I don't have. Or else, I think 24 hours the phone is always in my hand. And if it's not the phone, then it's the laptop. These both things is like just next to me. The first thing I reach when I wake up in the morning is the phone. And when I go to bed, it's the last thing I see also. So it's just like, I don't see any specific screen time like those days when I was a kid. Television is just like this time to this time. After that, books. Nowadays, it's not, because your phone has everything. It's just like reading a book. Sometimes you just browse through a online storybook. You just never know how many hours we've been spending for the screen time there. Then it's just, wow, it's been 1 hour. It's just same as what Uncle Code said. It's just like a book. The only thing is it's in a digital form. It's just also, I don't see any particular screen times now except for my sleeping time, actually.
You know what? Something interesting came to my mind. When you say that the time that you may not spend with the screen is the time that you cook, imagine again, 2 years later, you have a kind of electronic oven and you cook on your iPad. That means you choose how much pepper, how much you put, and then that time you spend on the screen.
Yeah, nothing is impossible. It might happen, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things that we thought never happen is happening now. It's
So,
true,
Raj,
yeah.
we came up with some business idea. We have to create a company together. We talk about this.
Exactly. So once this episode goes out, we have to edit this part specifically to not leak it to the public, to keep it private.
We go open source. It's okay. And then let's go for Mojgan.
Yes, actually, it's not a proper timing for having a correct answer or come up with a good solution for that. There is no such a thing as screen time, because from morning till night, as Premila and Kyoko said, we all the time is holding our hands. For example, because we have been forced, especially during last 1.5 year, to just work from home all the time. We should keep connected with our team members. Then we should just, this is the, even if we control our screen time for watching things, watching movie or series or whatever else, then even we have been forced to go for meeting online. It means that it has been dragged really long for us to be on a screen. And working from home and having other responsibilities online is another added option to. For now, I think we cannot do anything. We have to just bear with it until this new norm become a very a specific arrangement for next few years. Then we can just put some rules or some regulations for ourselves to save our the body and health.
Very interesting. I think that definitely let's face with this reality. The world changed historically in the fastest way. Imagine it took 10 years for a vaccine to get permission, but we're experiencing a part of life that in 1 year we get permission for a vaccine. So it's not a surprise. Other things change in 1 year. That means we never get back to the life before COVID. I know we're gonna back to outside against social engagement, but this changed many things. Many things change, including this engagement with the screen. Raj, go for the next question.
It's very interesting, Uncle Code. I think growing up, my told me, Raj, don't use the computer for too long. Don't use the screen for too long. It's going to be bad for your eyes. They always had, I guess, maybe this fear that screens are not good for me. So I guess my next question focuses on display technology, right? The screens, the monitors that we see on a daily basis. Do you think it's harmful to children and adults?
It's very interesting questions, ladies. We like to focus on technology. Let's get out of the psychological aspect. Technology itself. How do you think the current technology, how it is, the current technology of the screen, does it have harm or any damage? What do you think about it, the current technology of the screen? Coco, please.
That's a difficult question. Well, regarding my side, I'm not sure, because I heard some doctors said it harms to the eyes, but at the same time, without any screens, perhaps kids cannot survive in this era. So new technology is always coming with this kind of LCD. So yeah, there is. Yeah, of course, there are some pros and cons, and yeah.
I add to just give more ideas to you guys. I will just add this one that, for example, everybody remember, because you all of you, I know that you're professional in your area. I know you three, and then you're working with computers, so definitely you remember those old monitor, right? The big. So remember from that day to today, a screen. I know those monitors, they had more damage on the eyes. I remember myself. You feel tired. We really feel tired. You have to use some filter, right? So I'm looking from that perspective to today LCD. Premila, please.
I think the first time when I bought a laptop, or when I was buying a laptop for my son, I thought of we surveyed of this thing, especially because we're going to be like a very very long time on a laptop, and then our eyes is going to be there, and the brightness and all that. So there was some kind of technology even then, that blue blue lighting, blue something filter. Okay, I'm not very good at this kind of technical things, but it's some kind of filter that they ensure that this laptop have this and all that. When we buy a smartphone, then they have this brightness, auto brightness, a justification or something like that. So it's kind of things. And then another thing is when we I'm just talking out of my experience, because my son, he's always with his laptop. So the other thing is the glasses that he wear is also having a kind of a blue filter ray or something.
Okay.
It's like it's additional protection. So I think it should be better, getting better, from those days to now. As what Uncle Ko said, that everything is changing. So for the amount of the screen time that we are having now, I think in coming years, in future, there'll be a lot of research they are going to do to make it more better, so it will not be harmful to whoever is having more screen time. So that's what I think.
Interesting. Actually you mentioned something important. You guys later watch the video that we had, and I share my ideas about the technology behind the screen. So we're not going to go through it because we don't have time that much now. And the blue light has been, yes, one of the common concern. Although that now there are researchers that they say that don't worry about it. And then, as you mentioned, yes, technology evolving. Technology has this ability of self-correction. Technology innovation is very humble, not like us. It's difficult we admit our mistake and improve ourselves sometimes, right? Because we have the ego. Ego is the part of human brain. That's just how we recognize we exist. So sometimes we like to feel it more. Sometimes we feel it less. But technology immediately, it figure out science. This is wrong. They deny it and they make another version, a better version. And this is happening. You're right. Thank you. Mojgan.
Actually, as I mentioned, it's going online. It's inevitable, but we should come up with some good ideas. As like for example, previous time I remember that we used to buy a laptop with a glassy, the screen, but nowadays more into a matte screen. And it's I've heard that it protects eyes to just for having lesser harm. Or the other aspect that we can think about it, we should take care of our body posture. It means that, for example, I myself have problem when I'm holding my phone, I feel pain in my neck. Okay, or maybe a more professional or medical furniture for this purpose that can serve the whatever we are looking for.
All back. Don't worry.
Yes. And this is definitely every technology has its pros and cons, like medication that has its benefits and side effects, but we should find a way to minimize it. This is my idea, actually. Yeah.
Very interesting. I like what you mentioned. Why just be worried about the screen? You people should be also worried about the workstations. Now we work with computers, the way we sit, or for example, sometimes we are like that, and it's not a kind of, maybe we should. So these are the things actually I want parents to focus more, and train themselves with exercises that they have to do for their kids. That's a nice point. I think too much focus only one aspect is the way that you are bringing excuses for other things. That's a very good point. I think now a screen and whatever connected to a screen is going to be important in our life, like sitting down. And also one more thing about Coco, do you like to add anything to this technology? Okay,
No.
cool. So, and also I like to just say one thing before we go to the next question about the technology. Just I want to tell you guys that, and gals, that today LCD, I consider it as the old technology, required many new changes come to the game. And I'm telling you something, soon it's not about the screen. Virtual reality come to the game. Augmented reality come to the game. So it's the concept is expanding. Like you're gonna have a Google glasses and look at around in the real life, you're gonna see some also animated objects around your rooms, and education is going to be really beneficiary of it. That means we can teach your children biology, not just in a blackboard and pictures, and never ever being able to bring them to hospital to see a real heart of human body. But now they can really explore it and then feel it in the virtual reality. So concept and concepts relevant to technology always is with the technology growth. So some people build, some people criticize, some people rebuild it and bring it out, like this blue light, because blue light increase melatonin hormones, which is the sleep-inducing hormones. That means let you sleep lesser, and that's why they were saying to take some kind of glass to filter out the blue lights. But now the current city can do that, can manage it. Perfect. Raj, please go to the next question.
It's a very interesting point in our previous question as well about how technology is improving and updating itself. Things like night mode, for example, or how screens are becoming much easier to use, right? I've used the CRT monitor in the past, and I know within an hour my eyes get super tired. Not to mention the heat and the noise that is emanated from using a CRT-based system, right? But the truth is technology is improving, and it's becoming much easier for us to use it. I don't know whether the right term is less harmful, but it's becoming easier for us to adapt to it. Now, why, with all these improvements, why do parents still have concerns about their kids' screen time, or where do you think even this source of concern is coming from when it comes to their children's screen time?
So it's now we're trying to move to psychological aspect, to pedagogical aspect. Okay. So now we know the screen is everywhere and technology and whatever. Now we want to move to something, to my understanding, is about raising our kid, no matter with the screen, without the screen, or anything else. So question is, why do you think parents, they have concern in general? Kyoko, please.
Well, perhaps it's too new. Yeah, because every time something new come up, the people I think that these are all about communication way is changing. So perhaps we must adapt it. But still, I think it's still 20 years old, 30 years old like this. So people still cannot adapt it. That's all.
Interesting. I like the point that you shared. Premila, please.
Sorry, what was the question again? Screen.
We're trying to say that, okay, as Raj asked this question, that so we finished discussion about technology and the concept of the screen. The question is, why parents, there is a common concern I hear a lot from parents about the screen time. So we're talking about now the psychological aspect, the training, the raising your child aspect. While we know a screen is everywhere, when we know all of our job and everything is going to be on a screen. So and we know technology improved, but what is this concern that you feel in parents? Kyoko mentioned fear of unknown. That's what I like to say it. Something new, and it's new for parents, and they have this concern about it. They don't know what is happening when their child engaging time. So what do you think?
If it's for me, the concern is only as Coco said, the communication between the family members, normal things, that small things that we do. Sometimes the communication between the family members, that value time that we had with the family members is reducing. But apart from that, it's still, if it's to be educational, or it's like something important, some kind of things that they're learning, then it's okay. But other than that, I mean, like there are some times that they have to be like physically, the kids have to be physically at a place. Sometimes they are there just at a living room, but then they are not there because the phone is in their hand, or they are always thinking about their chatting time with their friends. It's more to the virtual kind of thing, which they don't have with the normal reality world. I feel they're more to the virtual kind of situation, where they go to relying more to the to the screening time than the physical time with the family members. Or only concern is that actually they're too into it.
For you, that social conversation, communication, you're afraid of they forget a little bit about it, huh? In the physical world, you mean?
Yes.
Right? Am I getting right?
Yes, correct. They're more to the to their friends, chatting. They are playing online games with 3 or 4 of their friends. They are too into it. Example is that I see, or when they are chatting, or they're having a conference call chatting, they are more to the virtual kind of thing. But it's in a way it is helping during this pandemic. At least they are not like too mentally stressed and all that. But other than that, sometimes I just feel that the talking things, when they open the mouth and talk at home is reducing, because they are more to keeping quiet, or they are more to the virtual kind of this one. They are too used to the mic and these headphones and the laptop, that they are not, they are, when they
Raj,
come to the normal, reality is just like, okay, it's just that they can't function without the speaks, headphones and the laptop. I see
understood.
some of the kids, so that's the only concern that I have, actually.
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting because your explanation describes my parents after I bought them their first. Now, whenever my parents come and say, okay, it's time to spend family time, I'm like, okay, let's do it. Everybody will be in the hall, and I'll be like, oh, mommy, papa, how's your day today? They'll be on Facebook, listening to music, watching videos, wearing their earphones. And it's completely normal, I guess. And I think it's a very common occurrence,
Yeah, it's
family time
getting
means
normal.
sitting. Yeah, it's getting
Yeah.
normal. Family time means like sitting together and talking, but everybody will be on their phone.
You know what? As we technology, it never was and is and will be a separated tools from our life. Technology is with our whole life. That means when technology improving, the way we show our love will change. The way we find friends will change gradually. The way we work will change.
Yeah.
One of the good things of the pandemic, I think parents, they have more awareness of what kid they do. This is first time. The reason is you watch it more often than before. And you understand, okay, now at least a part of it is education, a part of it is a friendship, a part of it is entertainment. Oh, this is what I do also personally for a few years. This is a change happening everywhere. So the question is not to me, stop, is to understand how to be socialized in a digital world, how to be family lover in a digital world, how to show love and passion, but it's still in a digital world. There's a nice term, we may have a kind of video talk about this, ladies. They call it digital citizen. They say a school, they have to focus to train children with this concept of digital citizen, means how to be a lovely person, socialized person, active person with this digital world, with this huge transformation happening every day. So that's another topic that we should talk another time. Mojgan.
Actually, I also do believe in the concern that I, as a parent, or maybe other parents also have about the social skills. Because when we are sitting in front of PC, or we have meeting online, or the kids' interaction with it is like a robot, then they have lost this connection in a physical. They become very impatient, not communicative, not responsive. Whenever you ask a question, they don't like to just drag the answer yes, no, or even say why you are asking, keep asking this question so many times. Okay, something like that. But to me, on the other hand, maybe it's a start of another evolution. We don't know. Maybe this new norm lead us to go for another start of another evolution in communication in future. As you mentioned, digital citizen, maybe it's going to some things we're going to distinct, and then instinct, and then actually we step into some new era in communication. And it's we have to admit it, we have to accept the new norm about this communication skill anyway.
Interesting. Truly, beside correct or incorrect, change should happen. You can't stop it and avoid it. I think this is a very important thing. We are alive, you and me, as a human, because evolution happened before us. Because you know what? Dinosaurs living 100 million years. Even human, our race couldn't reach to that amount of being on this planet, but they is extincted. So I don't have a kind of surprise that we're gonna get extincted as well. Then the point is the change is happening. Nobody can stop it. So we have to understand how is the new communication in digital era. And these concerns that my teenager doesn't respond me properly, these have been concerns when I was teenager, when my parents, they were in teenager. These are common, these are valid concerns through the industry, through the human story. It's not because of the computer. It just shows itself through whatever is the trend of that duration of that particular time in the history. So let's go for next question. Raj, please go for next question. I I think
Awesome.
code 6 is good.
Yep. So let's talk about action steps, right? Okay, so let's talk about what advice that people listening can take away at home. So do you guys or girls any screen time rules in your family, and can you explain it a bit more to us?
Perfect. Coco.
Well, when my son was very small, I had some screen time. I asked him to not to use too much, but eventually I realized it's kind of nonsense because everything went online, and actually he studied almost all the things with online when he took IGCSE exam. And nowadays even in the school he cannot study without screen anything, because from the morning until evening all the school classes are conducted in online, so it's a difficult, impossible, especially after this pandemic.
Okay, great. How about you, Premila? How was before and now? How is it now?
As what agree with what Coco said. When he was young, when my son was young, yes, then we had a timing for them. This is the time for games, or this is time for your laptop or your TV or whatever. But now, since they are teenagers, it's no limit anymore, except for his sleeping time. I can say that, or except for his workout times. That he arranged himself. So we don't see any particular screen time. Sometimes he's just bored, especially during this pandemic. He say, I'm too bored. What am I supposed to do sitting at home and doing nothing? So I might as well watch something, or might as well learn something I can watch or something. So there's no any particular screening time that there is available for him. He except for his sleeping time, as what I said for myself, is same to him. So since I'm doing the same, I can't expect more from him.
That's the point. You if you want to be the model for your kid, that would be a good thing. And sleep, I totally agree. Yeah, we should really never lose this 7 to 8 hours of sleeping at least in a day. It's very important. Very important. And I like to, and I'm supportive by not using screens half an hour at least before sleeping. Some people say 1 hour. I mean, like constantly. If you get a message, you have to reply. That's a different story. But constantly, that's a good thing to do. So, Mojgan, you?
I don't have a specific rule for limiting the usage of a screen, but I myself is practice. For example, when I wake up, I used to wake up. I'm a morning person. For example, when I wake up at 6:30 or 7, then last time I used to immediately turn on my phone and check social media, and I like to just drag it, not 6:37. I want to start it, for example, from 9 a.m. okay, or 9:30. I just force myself to keep myself busy with something else, or in between I try to just get rid of all this screen, and then go to do some baking, okay, or I prefer to go outside for jogging. Then I try to minimize all these things, set a rule this way, not for example sitting on the sofa, and then because we have to force ourselves to just keep ourselves healthy at the moment, physically and mentally at this time, until we see what's going to happen next.
Perfect. This being self-regulated is what I'm asking parents to hope for your children as soon as possible. If you have a 6 years old self-regulated kid, thumbs up. Kid knows what is good for her or for him gradually by nice conversation. Raj, please go for the last question.
Awesome. So the last question for today, it is insightful session. The final question is, any final advice for parents in managing screen time or using a screen for their children?
Coco, please.
That's a difficult question. Well, my advice is just communicate with your kids every time. Yeah.
Cool.
Perhaps kids also know the information a lot these days. Yeah, because they also can Google, and they will know what are discussed in this world. So perhaps kids also can understand, and they can discuss with us. So
Interesting. In communication,
yeah,
10,000 years ago till today, and 10,000 years later, communication has been the glue of a society, a country, a nation, a family, two friends, any relationship.
Yeah.
True. Is this never gonna touch by a screen or technology or whatever? It doesn't matter. If you, my child, want me to communicate with you by creating mommy dancing and publishing my TikTok, I will do that to send my message to you. This is important that you understand how to communicate with them. Okay, that's another talk. So let's go, Premila, for you.
Actually, the kids nowadays, they are good at managing things, and they know what is right and what is wrong. If it's like too difficult, if as a parents we feel that this is too much, then if we explain to them in a right way, then they know that, oh
Right.
yeah, okay, if it's right, they are able to take take the fact that it is more or it's less. That's the only thing I
Nice.
don't advise much. Yeah, that's the only thing. The kids
Interesting.
now know best what's best for them. Actually, everything
Very-
is there in
Yeah, this
Google.
trust to this generation that they are raising in ocean of information and data. It's so different than our time. That only mommy daddy is the only gateway to know something. You teach them how to survive, how to find, ask them to search, then communicate with them, participate with them. They learn by themselves. Fantastic. I think parenting is not about controlling. Parenting is about emotional and rational negotiation with your children. You have to reach to that smart point that your child and you reach to the same agreement about some standard that you want to assign in the family. Otherwise, you're controlling and you're forcing. Very good. Thank you. Mojgan.
I'm totally against controlling the kids. As Premila mentioned, they know what is wrong, what is right to some extent. I just like to be the guide for my kids. For example, about we are talking about screen time, but we should, instead of interfering that much and controlling it, because as I said, it's inevitable, we should channel it towards the right path. And then we should add some exercises, some in between screen time exercises, that at least you leave that furniture, you leave that chair, for example, for a few minutes, and do some regular exercises. Is good for your neck, for your eye, for your just body, and then they continue. If we just control it that much, apart from having physical harm to the body, mentally also we will have some some what is it called, for example, friction, and then it's not going to end up in a very good result.
Interesting.
That's why.
Interesting. So I can see Coco, communication, Premila, negotiation, and for you also association. That's a very important thing. That means there are three ways that you dear mothers are looking to this. So congratulations to all of you. I consider your children above the average. That's what I look at them intellectually. They are really self-regulated, matured in the way that they communicate. They can admit their faults, mistakes, and weaknesses and strengths. That's what I think every parent should work on that. And you watch my other video that we discussed, and I shared my ideas about different solutions, some suggestions. I guess it's good to go through it, and you guys and see and share with me your comments and questions. Raj.
Awesome. Coco, Premila, Mojgan, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. I feel that we have concised years of parenting experience into a 40-minute video. And I think the day that I become a parent, I know I've asked a lot of challenging questions today, but I think the day that I become a parent, I'll be super, super ready after watching this 40-minute episode. So thank you so much for taking the time to be part of this episode. Our Director Rai is going to send you backstage because I know you all have a busy day ahead of you all today. But thank you once again for joining us on the show today.
And I'd like to remind everybody that today we discussed about few topics that each one of them required more conversation. So I'd like to invite you guys for other meetings, other talk. We may focus, for example, we didn't talk about screen content, which is one of my favorite topics. That means parents, they should be more worried about the screen content rather than the screen time. But there are a lot of things we discussed. I'd like to invite you guys again and again. And it always is my pleasure to see you all here and knowing how you feel, how you think. And that's all. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Uncle Cole.
Love
Thank
you
you,
all.
guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. 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 Okay.
All right, Uncle Code. What
That was a nice talk.
episode. Oh, that was
And look,
amazing.
It's that these moms, and remember there's their children. So you see the connectivity. It's very important. So dear parents, we did this discussion with three of our mothers, the same as children that you saw them before. And then hopefully this is going to be really useful for you guys. So hopefully they send us questions. You guys send us questions and share with us. We're going to go through it and we're going to create more contents for you. Raj, thank you so much for today.
Thank you, Uncle Code. And once again, to all the listeners, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next episode of Uncle Talk. Bye-bye.